Hello and welcome to day 22. It is the beginning of the last week, guys. We have made it. Okay, so this week is about integrated flow. The first session, which is day 22, is called integrated flow. So we are going to be building on the exercises we have already done, so we are starting to level up. Again, if you find that these are a little too much for you, revert back to the ones that are slightly easier until you're confident there, and then come back. All right, we're going to start with our pelvic curl, adding in a side kick and then lowering down. So we're going to be focusing a lot on the glutes, because the next exercise will be the side lying series, and then the next exercise will be a roll down with some reaching, so we get that hip hinging, but we're focusing on some spinal mobility too. All right, so to begin, laying on the floor, feet and knees roughly fist distance apart. That pelvis is neutral, the ribs are connected. We're going to inhale, exhale, scoop the navel, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone, activate the legs and the glutes, tucking deeper and peeling the spine up and off the floor. We're aiming for a straight line from the knees to the hips to the shoulders. I want us to then extend the left leg, really ground through the right inner foot, connecting into that left oblique. We're going to then exhale to take the leg out, inhale in, exhale bend, and roll the spine back down. Okay. What I want you to really watch is how the hips move when you take the leg out to the side. When you're taking the leg out to the side, you only take it out as wide as you can without letting the hips tilt. Let's go with the other side. Exhale, we're scooping, we're tucking, we're peeling, we're rising up. And we're going to exhale to extend the leg. Inhale, take the leg out. Exhale in. Inhale, bend the leg. And exhale, roll down through the spine. I'm going to get us through two more on each side because it's quite a loaded exercise before we move into our side lying. And exhale, draw the belly in. Tucking tailbone, rising up. Connecting right foot to left side. Lifting and straightening that left leg. Watch those hips as you take the leg out and in, making sure the left hip doesn't hike. Bending down. And exhale to roll back down. And exhale, scooping, tucking, rising up. Exhale to extend the leg. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale, bend. Exhale, roll down. It is not a big movement. You do not need lots of movement for that exercise to work you. Last set. Exhale, scooping, tucking, rising. And exhale, extend that left leg. Inhale, lengthen that left hip. Exhale, bring the leg in. Inhale, lower the foot down. Exhale to reverse. And lower the spine back down onto the mat. And let's go last one. Exhale, scooping, tucking, rising up. Inhale, extend the right leg, ground through the left foot. Inhale, take the leg out, keep the right hip lengthening away. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lower down. And exhale, roll down through the spine and releasing at the bottom. Okay, so that exercise is very much leveled up when you're extending the leg out to the side. I want you to really focus again on those hips, making sure a hip doesn't hike when you're taking that leg out. We're now going to move into our side lying series. So we've always just done the single leg lift. We're going to add a double leg and a bottom leg lift into the equation. Let's work on 5 reps each. So hips, shoulders, legs all in line. Making sure the arm is in line as well if you have the shoulder range. We're lengthening the top hip away. We are drawing those ribs in. Exhale to lengthen and lift the right leg up. And inhale down. Keeping those hips in place. Don't let the hip dip in order to gain range. And inhale down. Exhaling up for 2. And controlling down. And for 3. lowering down. And last one, exhaling up for 4. Wait, that's not the last one. The 5 is the last one. My counting has gone a little bit awry. Let's go one more. And inhale down. Okay, so now for the double leg lift. Think of keeping the knees together, not the ankles. And think length versus height. We inhale, squeeze the knees, exhale, lengthen those legs, and it's not a big lift. And inhale down. If you're feeling yourself biting, exhale up into your neck. Then tighten the abs a little bit more. If you're still struggling there, then don't lift as high. Think more length and lighten the pressure of the legs on the floor. You'll still activate things. And let's exhale, lengthen and lift for 4. Keep those knees together. And last one, exhale up for 5 and hold that position. Keep that right leg where it is, lower the bottom leg. Now you're going to exhale, lift the bottom leg, but again, think knee to knee. And inhale down. I don't want to see those ankles tilting up to touch the foot, but then the knees don't come together. Exhaling, lifting. Squeeze the knees. Inhale down. And again, keeping that right leg exactly where it started. And 2 more. Lowering down. And last one. And lower both legs down. And that's that full series. We're going to now swap over to the other side. One side may be easier than the other. Quite normal. Okay. Arms, shoulders, hips, legs in line. Belly active. Hip lengthening away. Exhale, lifting left leg up. Keep the hips stacked. Inhale down. Exhale up for 2. Lowering with control. And up for 3. And lowering down. And rising up for 4. Lowering down, keeping the gap between the hip and the rib consistent. And for 5. Lowering down. Now, keep the knees together. Exhale, lengthen and lift both legs. And inhale to lower. And for 2. And down. And for 3. And down. 2 more. 4. And down. Last one for 5, lifting up. Now just lower the bottom leg. Exhale, lift knee to knee and down. Keep the knee facing forward and down. Exhale up for 3. Keep that ankle long and down. You may get a cramp in your foot if you let that ankle tilt up. And for 4. Lowering down. And last one for 5. Lower both legs down. Good. All right, so the pelvic curls were there to get the glutes, to get that core working. We've done our sideline for glutes. Now we've got to hinge at those hips so that we get those hips flowing beautifully. Today you do need to see the head, so I shall raise you up higher. Okay, so guys, we're just doing a roll down, but we're adding an arm stretch into the equation. So you're going to have your feet roughly fist distance apart. Your knees are just out of their locked position, so the bones still have to balance us. The bones, listen to me, so that the muscles still have to balance us and we're not locking into bone on bone for stability. Arms down to the sides of the body. Inhale, lift the arms up, keeping the ribs nice and connected. Exhale, start diving forward, head leading, rolling down from the top of the neck through each vertebra. Once you are curled as far as you can from your vertebra perspective, you then hinge at the hips to continue curling down. That's where that hip hinge comes into play. Inhale, grounding through the heels and the big toe and baby toe knuckles. Keep the knees soft. Exhale, draw the belly in. Restacking, bringing that pelvis back to neutral first. And then from there, we're going to let that spine curl back up. Lengthen tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, diving down. Starting with the hands, head, neck, shoulders. Now let the arms dangle. Curling through each vertebra and then hinging at those hips. Those hips are going to slightly internally rotate to make space for you to hinge down. Now, sometimes it's not the hamstrings that are the problem in terms of when you can't touch your toes, but your hips don't have the movement to move into that internal rotation to allow you to actually get deeper into those hamstrings. Exhale, draw that belly in, tuck that tailbone. Now those hips go into slight external rotation to come back to neutral. Pelvis stacked in neutral, restacking each vertebra one at a time. And last one, inhale, arms up, ribs laced down and connected. Diving forward, let those arms come down, head leading the movement, neck, middle back, lower back, and then hinging at those hips. Hips go into slight internal rotation, eyes to thighs. Inhale, knees soft. Exhale, belly in, ground through the entirety of the feet. Tuck that tailbone. Bring those hips forward. Hips go slight external rotation, restacking each vertebra one at a time. And voila, that is day 22. I hope that you enjoyed the session. As I said, we're starting to load things up a little bit, so you're going to start feeling things working 10 times harder. When we get that foundation down right, these exercises definitely start feeling easier. So I hope during the journey you have surprised yourself and you have been able to do things you thought you couldn't. But thank you for joining, and I'll check you on the next one.